back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hi guys! So I am here today to do a book review, and this is one of the SPFBO books that I read for Self-Published Fantasy Blog Off. If you've no idea what this is, I will put a link to my video where I talk about it and announce all the books I'm going to be reading. I will also link down below Mark Lawrence's blog, which is where he announces the whole process and goes into more detail about how it all works. So this is one of the books that I was reading for part of that challenge, and it is called The Heart of Stone by Ben Galley. Ben Galley is a fairly well-known self-published author in the UK, and he's got quite a few different series, so this is his newest series, and this follows the adventures of Task, a stone golem who is drafted into a war he never wanted to be part of. It's all set in a world where there is an ongoing battle between the Fading and the Royalists, and it's quite a military-heavy and a military-focused story. Basically, the Fading are a kind of fracture group who broke away from the throne because they believe that the boy king, who is very, very young, is being ruled over and ill-advised by the councillors who surround him. Into this kind of mess of Royalists versus Fading walks Task, our stone golem, who is controlled by whoever his owner is. And at the time that we meet him, he is over 400 years old, and he is entirely made of stone, but he is magical. So he can talk, he can think, he has emotions, even though he is made of stone, and he can definitely interact with people in an interesting and quite heartfelt way at times. Task is seen by many humans as just a lump of rock. Most people don't really consider him to have a mind or a heart, and even though he doesn't have these in the way that humans think of, he definitely has raw emotion. Over the time that we kind of follow him in the story, he starts to understand more about himself because he meets a young girl who takes an interest in him as a friend, not just as a piece of machinery who can destroy things and would be an asset in the war. Task's life has been long and fraught with many, many battles. He's been drafted into all sorts of different human disputes over the years. He's been made to kill people he was friends with. He's gone through some really horrible and torturous things that he did not enjoy, and he's basically been a machine of torture, which is obviously not something to take lightly. His kind of final desire is to free himself from the absolute nightmare of his life and the nightmares that he has on a regular basis when he dreams by just ending things, just giving up, just quitting, but he can't. He is controlled by the master at the time, and he cannot just end his life, much as he may want to. And as such, he thinks of humans in a cynical way. He calls them all skin bags because to him that is basically what they've become, because he doesn't feel like they are kind to him or genuine people. He just sees horror every time he meets humans. And the very few humans who have been nice to him have nearly always been killed or destroyed in front of his eyes. The world that this is based in also has other magical abilities, so we have dragons, although supposedly they've been slain now. We have grims and glimpses. Glimpses have a kind of foresight ability, whilst grims are much more scary and sinister and can even control your thoughts. Grims are incredibly rare in this world, and it is thought by many that they've died out, but of course there are always a few left, but it is quite rare to discover them. What I most enjoyed about this book was that it surprised me. I don't love military-focused warfare in books, but this one, although it was military-focused, had a great balance of emotional integrity and moments of kind of intrigue and character growth. I found the relationship between Task and the other people who he did talk to and really get to understand was really, really charming, particularly Lesky and some of the other people who he found as friends were really, really wonderful. Task's thought process is quite interesting to read. He thinks in a very different way to humans, and when you're reading the book that comes across really well in the writing, which was very, very solid throughout. And I really enjoyed kind of seeing him grow and develop emotions and feelings that he hadn't had for a very, very long time. The cynicism of the world and the horrors that he'd seen had taken over a lot of that, but over the course of the book he develops these things again, and he manages to find a bit of his own humanity back inside of him, despite the horrible people who are also surrounding him. Overall, I'd say this book has a lot going for it. It was definitely really good fun to read, and I very much recommend Bengali as an author, not just this series but other ones too. He's a lot of fun and he can really write and self-publish really well, so I would definitely recommend picking up some of his books. I think most of them you can get in physical and on Kindle, so check out whichever form works for you. But I would definitely recommend these, and in particular this book was really good fun. So I gave it a 4 stars overall, and I would definitely recommend it to you to go and check out. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys!
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.